Think about it. You spent what, 12 years in a system memorizing history, science, literature, but when it came to the one thing that literally dictates your freedom, your choices, your entire future, the system just went silent. This is the story of the most important subject you were never taught. And, more importantly, how you can win the war for your own life.
I mean, seriously, why is this? You can probably still tell me right now that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, right? But when it comes to, building actual wealth that could change your entire life, the system basically left you out on the battlefield totally alone and completely unprepared.
And this is the result. I mean, the numbers are just staggering. According to recent surveys, only half of American adults can show even basic financial literacy. Think about that. You're in a room with 10 people. 5 of them have absolutely no clue what they're doing with their money. And listen, this isn't on you. It's not personal failing, it's a systemic.
And here's where it gets really scary. This is the real-world consequence of that gap in our knowledge. 37% of adults couldn't come up with $400 for an emergency, not without borrowing money or selling something. This is what happens because of that silence in the classroom. We have a huge part of the population just living on a financial knife's edge.
So, how do we even begin to fix this? Well, we start by gathering intel, right? Before you can go on the attack, you have to know the battlefield. You have to know exactly where you stand. Most people are walking around with a map of their financial life, but there's no "you are here" sticker. We're going to find that sticker, and we're going to do it with 3 absolutely critical numbers.
All right, first up, net worth. This is like the ultimate scorecard. It's super simple. Add up everything you own, your savings, investments, your car, whatever, and then subtract everything you owe. Credit cards, student loans, you name it. Now, if that number seems kind of low, seriously, don't panic. The median net worth for people under 35 is only $39,000. The most important thing is just knowing the number. That's step 1.
Okay, number 2 is your monthly cash flow. This one tells you if you're moving forward or backward every single month. It's simple, right? If it's 0, you're living paycheck to paycheck. But if it's positive, even just a little bit, you've got a weapon. A surplus of just $300 a month, if you invest it right, can turn into almost $500,000 over 30 years. That's what I'm talking about. That's the power of just knowing.
And the third number you got to know is your runway. So if your income just stopped tomorrow, how many months could you actually survive? You figure this out by taking your liquid savings and dividing it by your monthly expenses. You really need a runway of 3 to 6 months. Anything less than that, and you're basically flying without a safety net.
Okay, so now we've got our intel. We know our position. Now we build our defense. This is all about creating a shield against the chaos and the crazy uncertainty of life. And it all starts with 2 fundamental tactics: budgeting and getting rid of that high-interest debt.
First, let's totally reframe the word budget. It has such a bad rap, right? It doesn't mean you can't have fun. It's not a restriction plan. It's a spending plan. It's you giving yourself permission to spend money on stuff you actually care about without blowing up your future. A super simple way to start is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your after-tax pay goes to needs, 30% to wants, and that last 20%, that's for savings and crushing debt.
All right, now let's talk about the enemy, the real enemy. If you have credit card debt with an interest rate over, say, 20%, that's not just debt, that is financial poison. It's like a parasite that's just designed to suck away your future wealth. Getting rid of this stuff has to be your number 1 absolute top priority. It's a 5-alarm fire and you've got to put it out. Now.
And you've got 2 main battle plans to do it. First, there's the snowball method. With this one, you pay off your smallest debts first. You get these quick, psychological wins that build momentum. It feels good. Then you've got the avalanche method. Here, you target the debts with the highest interest rates first. This is the one that saves you the most money in the long run. So yeah, mathematically, avalanche is better. But you know what? Behaviorally, for a lot of people, the snowball method just works. The key is pick one, and then execute.
Okay, once your defense is solid, it's time to go on offense. This is the fun part. This is where we start building the wealth machine. You know, Einstein supposedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. And he said, he who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. And man, he was not kidding. And this is why. You have to understand this. Time is your single most powerful weapon. Look at this. If you invest just $100 a month starting at age 25, you could end up with over $700,000 by retirement. But what if you wait just 10 years? You start at 35. That same $100 a month gets you only about $300,000. That 10-year delay didn't cost you a few $1,000s, it cost you $400,000. Let that sink in.
So how do you actually do it? What's the secret? Honestly, be boring. That's it. Exciting investing is just a fancy word for gambling. You win this game by buying boring, low-cost index funds that just track the whole market, like an S&P 500 fund. And, oh my God, if your employer offers a 401k match, you take it every single time. It's an immediate 100% return on your money. It is literally free cash. You know, building wealth isn't just about the smart things you do. It's also about the traps you manage to avoid. And trust me, society has laid out some really tempting, really expensive traps that are just designed to keep you from ever reaching your goals. Let's talk about the two biggest ones, your car and your house.
Get this, the average new car payment in America is now over $700 a month. And that feels normal, right? But it's a quiet catastrophe for your finances. If you took that $700 a month and invested it instead, over 40 years, it would grow to almost $900,000. Yeah, that shiny new SUV is literally costing you a millionaire retirement.
And now for maybe the biggest financial lie we're all told. Renting is just throwing money away. It's simply not true. Look, homeownership comes with huge hidden costs. We're talking taxes, insurance, maintenance, all the fees to buy and sell. The typical break-even point where buying actually becomes cheaper than renting is usually between 5 and 7 years. If you end up moving before then, chances are you lost money. Don't let your parents or friends pressure you into a bad financial move.
Okay, we've surveyed the battlefield. We've built our defense, planned our offense, and we've identified the traps. Now it's time to put it all together into a blueprint, a system for victory. Because just knowing all this stuff, it's not enough. That gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it, that's where most people get stuck. Victory requires a system.
And the key, the absolute secret to making this all work is so simple. You have to automate everything. You build a system that moves the money for you so you don't even have to think about it. Set up automatic transfers to your savings and your investments for the day you get paid. This takes willpower and emotion completely out of the equation. You make saving the default setting, the path of least resistance.
So why? Why are we doing all of this? What's the end game here? Look, it's not about being old and rich. It's about building what's famously called screw you money. It's that cushion that gives you the power to walk away from a terrible boss, to take a chance on a business idea, to just say no. It's the freedom to buy your own life back.
Look, in school you learned all about wars that were fought hundreds of years ago. But what we've talked about today, this is the strategy to win the single most important war you will ever fight, the war for your own freedom. And that gap between knowing and doing, it's only closed by one thing, action. So start today.